Okay, I'm back with another video. I actually just recorded a video, and a whole lot happened in about 20 minutes, and I had to just close the video. So to recap what you missed, we started a new quest line. We got decimated. Then I got a notification that the last Adventure Quest video, episode 1, this is episode 2, technically 3, but the second didn't release. Episode 1 got copyright striked. I went and looked at it. Somebody took one of my songs that I made with another artist, and I think I know who did it. Took a song I made, put a version of it out, but slightly pitched, but left everything the same. Like extracted the song and released the song slightly pitched. And I have all of my music on Spotify, the majority anyways. I've done a little bit of stuff with labels that like they set up and all that. But when I release a song, I want it to be copyright free. I want to be able to use it in the background of videos. I want people to have that access. One of my songs that is copyright free is now going to be causing issues. So I removed it from my playlist that I use for YouTube. To avoid copyright, I play my music in the background. You're hearing it right now. I also apologize for last week's video, or whenever I end up dropping this, the last Adventure Quest video, because the music was too loud. I'm still playing around with levels, new studio. That's just part of it. But yeah, somebody took my song. It was a collab. Put it out as their own, slightly different, and then hit it with copyright. So the last week's video got struck. So what I did, I used YouTube as an AI tool, and I used it to extract the melody from the video. So there's a portion in the video, it's like 26 minutes in or something like that, 24 minutes in, where it pulls the melody out. So I apologize for that, but yeah. I'm going to get into some stuff in this video. We're going to talk about music stuff. We're also going to grind on this game. We're going to go into quest lines. We're going to try to push for a new class, all that. I just want to give a heads up. I'm probably going to be talking a lot of dirt on people. I apologize if I swear a little or something. I'm going to try my best not to. But I've worked in the music industry for years. I have dirt on a lot of people, from the Christian music scene to the lo-fi music scene to the hip-hop scene. I have a lot. I know a lot. I knew a lot of people. Been through a lot. And this one gives me a good one to start on. So I'm going to go ahead and start us on a quest line so we can get started. And then I'm going to chat my way through it. Before we do anything, though, I got to figure out how to get more potions because I'm lacking in potions. I think used to you could go to house, but we don't have a setup at house. We don't have a house. On my main account I do, but I haven't played it in years. We got to figure out how to get some potions here, man. And I don't remember. I want to say there was like a place you could just click in the game to get some potions, but I'm not remembering. Was it Valencia? And then you click something maybe? I want to back out. So you can buy gift boxes. We may do that. I may do a video where I just roll gift boxes because who doesn't love loot crates? But I got to figure out how to get potions because we have no health potions. That's right. We have no health potions. And we're pretty weak, so getting through a quest line at this level is going to be very difficult. I may just do normal quests and just chat. I think we're going to do that for now, not Rip in the Sky. Though it's good for getting, there's a busted weapon. Let's do Rip in the Sky, level 10, okay. So we're just going to go grind a little bit. So yeah, my song, somebody else has released it, hit it with copyright. I hope it doesn't cause me issues on like Spotify and stuff because I'm not changing anything. But it was a collaboration with a producer. I work with a lot of people. I worked with back in the pandemic scene. I worked with a lot of people. We're gonna go water for this guy. He's weak to water. This guy, I quit working with him for a reason, but some of our lo-fi beats and stuff are still out there. He's got a really sketchy past, and I didn't know about it. I worked with him a bunch and did some numbers with him. We did decent. I bet. Okay, she is actually this chick that we got following us. You didn't see that from last video. We did a quest line. We got a chick following us. She's healing the guy. He gets negative damage taken if he's hit with light or fire, and she does light, so might be a problem. This guy is known for doing sketchy stuff. I'm assuming that's what he did. We'll see. I want to give dirt. I just don't know what I can say without giving a name, and I don't want the name. Okay. This guy's a music producer. He used to be incredibly tight with a huge artist. He was in a circle. They had a name for this group of artists and producers, and the artist that he's tied to is massive. Like massive, mainstream massive. And he is no longer with them. He is no longer associated with me and my group. But we released a lot together, and he had a lot of connections, and come to find out, a lot of the work we did together, he just fabricated or stole. So I've had a lot, removed. It's been a long journey, and a lot resumes and like credit lists. They only go so far in music. Like my resume and my credit list, I've worked with like a XXL freshman in rap. I've worked with a few pretty big lo-fi labels. I've worked with producers that are lo-fi girl producers. Like I've worked all around. I've worked with rappers, singers, producers, even an NFT project that wanted beats for their images, their NFTs. Like I've done a lot, and a resume says a lot about you, but only to a certain extent, because some of my biggest placements, they're has-beens. Not all of them, but some of them. Like they had their moment, and they'll tell you, like they had their moment. They went viral, they toured, they had big radio hits, they went multi-platinum, whatever, and now kind of mellowed out. And so because you worked with somebody that was popping 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it's not that big of an achievement now, because people are looking for something that's popping off now, something viral now. And resumes, they only go so far, but I didn't know that. I never realized that years ago. So when you met somebody and they were like, hey, I tried to work in the country rap scene for a while. So it was like, hey, I produced for Yellow Wolf, or I produced for Jelly Roll, or I produced for this person or that person. Your immediate thought is like, I got to get something in with you. You're showing attention to me in some way. That's a good thing. I got to build this relationship. We got to make it work. Well, I never thought to question, why are you not still with this group or these people? So in a different genre entirely, way different, this producer that I've worked with a lot and had some editorials, been on some radios, been on some, a lot of stuff with him. I never questioned why. I never asked, why are you not still with this collective, still with this group? I never asked that. And turns out there's a reason. If anybody ever comes up to you and says, hey, I worked with Cxldaf, I worked with Wayrest, whatever name they know me by, Cole. If they ever say they worked with me, just DM me, hit me up, and I'll tell you what I think of them. Are they cool? Do they actually? Because I've went through name changes. I've went through a lot of circles that fell apart. I've been in circles and groups and collectives that I had to back away from and was like, I don't rock with y'all, whether it's scammers, whether it's like addicts, and just the behavior that follows addiction and all that. So long story short, this guy, let me check my damage real quick. So we need, water and light. So we'll just stick with water. And our partner does light. So that's sick. This specific producer, I never knew why. And I don't have the weight behind me to go message the guy that led the collective, because he's huge. He's a massive artist. I don't have the weight behind me to go just reach out and say, hey, yo, is this guy cool? So it was like 2 years into working with this dude, and I'm talking like a decent amount of work. Come to find out, I don't know what I can say and not get a strike, and I don't want to strike. Like, I've been hit with copyright, but I haven't had a strike yet on YouTube. He was an addict. He was a arguably on the hardest, most dangerous. His behavior mimics that. It's clear now on the random crash outs and the theft of, music and stuff in that space. I'm really trying to guard myself. I don't want to alert to who it is. If that alert, I don't know if I use the word right, but I don't want to give too much away. This dude in some of our songs, and that's where I've had some copyright issues in the past. This one's different. I'm pretty sure he took it and it looks like it's his account. It looks like he just went and uploaded it as his own, separate from me, even though it was a collab. And then I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it's now a copyright issue. But yeah, this dude is he's unstable, he's psychotic, he's crazy. And I only found out because a couple of guys, I have a small group, a little group of guys we keep in a group chat. I've known most of them for like 10 years. Well, since I've been in music, I'm on my 11th year. I started at 16 with a little, I soundproofed a closet in my bedroom and went from there. A couple of the guys that I've known for a few years, they were like, hey, yo, he's crashing out on us. He's going crazy. So they sent screenshots and we're like, oh my gosh, this dude's insane. This specific producer. They did more than I did at first. They start deep diving into like his legal name and stuff. He's got like some charges. He's got some like crazy charges. He has some like, there's a lot of drama around him and his name and like, oh crap. I associated myself with him for this long. And a lot of it's removed. Good luck. If you're gonna look, good luck finding anything about it, because I've removed a lot, and I'm about to have to remove more because of this copyright stuff. I got so much dirt. I just don't know how much to say or who to talk to, or who to talk about without getting in trouble. I got a lot. I used to work in the Christian music space. At the time, I was a singer/rapper. You could call it rap. Let's see what I need. I'm talking too much. We need fire, so we'll just go with the fire crossbow and spam attack. So right now we're just farming XP. I just want levels. I used to work in the Christian music scene. I got to meet a lot of people. I actually had the opportunity. If you know who Toby Mac is, if you know who Mandisa is, rest in peace. I had the opportunity 8 years ago to get on stage with Mandisa. Toby Mac was headlining. Mandisa was kind of headlining. It was Toby Mac and Mandisa, but he's the biggest name in Christian music. It was at the time, probably still is, but I had the ability, and I fumbled it, to share the stage with Mandisa and perform a song with her. And you wait and you dream of these moments. Like my whole love for like the music industry, rather than just music, but the music industry itself and getting plugged into it, was at a concert, and I don't remember who it was. I don't remember, but I was in a concert in the crowd with I think it was my dad, I don't remember, and I remember standing in the crowd and just kind of zoning out and watching them on stage and looking. I just looked out, and the stadium is full, packed full of people, and everyone has their lighters and their flashlights out on their phones. And I look back and I remember looking up at the stage after taking all that in and going, I gotta get there. I want to be there. I want to be that. And that's where it started. So I got into it for the wrong reasons at first. It was like I just want to be on stage in front of thousands of people. During that moment though, I just got it in my mind. I got to make music happen. And so over the next I was 13, 14 when that happened, and then at 16, I told my parents, I was like, I love music. I love this and that. y'all are gonna hate this, but like I work a job, and I I was homeschooled, so I did all my schoolwork early in the morning, and I went to work a job, and then I had a lot of free time in the evening. I was like, I really want to make this happen, so they, I was like, hey, can I ruin your walls? I'm gonna spray foam some soundproof padding and stuff. Like, I'm gonna ruin the walls. You're gonna have to scrape it off when I move out. And I soundproofed my closet. Got a Mac interface, cheap setup, ran wires to the closet, and my younger brother, who actually produced it was on the iTunes back when iTunes was relevant. It was like number, I don't know, top 6. I think it was 6th in the top 10 Christian music releases, and he was like, I was 16, so he was 12. Or no, he was 13 or 14, somewhere around there, because I was somewhere around 16 to no, I was 17 or 18 by this point. We were younger when we started working on it, but after we started working, he was doing some production stuff, and he produced a beat that ended up on a Christian rappers album that made it to like top 10 on the Christian charts. And so I think at that time he was like 14 or 15. 14, because I was 17, I think, because I was on the album as a feature verse, and because I was rapping at the time. So that's where we were. And in that time period, I got my first taste of the music industry. I'm talking too much and not playing. I got my first taste of the music industry, and I loved it. So I pushed for that, and I tried to build up a reputation, because my music was trash. It was garbage, and I took down most of it, so good luck finding any. But I put out Christian music, and I started growing, and I started, I worked. I was homeschooled. I had a lot of free time, because in homeschooling there's no homework. You just get done what you need to get done. I graduated all A's, and I think I had B's average in geometry, but like literally all A's. But it gave me time to actually focus. So I would go to work. So I started building a savings. At 15, I had a hardship license, so I could drive legally alone at 15. So I worked. I saved up money. So I started dumping that money into music. So I was trying to get big collabs in the Christian music space, and I got some. I was paying way too much for like beats and mixes and all the stuff I couldn't do yet myself. And it got me a little bit of recognition. I had a small fan base. I got to do a tour. I think the average amount of people, it was always small, tiny venues, and I think the average was like 40 to 50 people. The smallest was like 15. But I had a buddy, I'm not going to name any names yet. I'll probably do it later when I'm more comfortable. But we did not heal after that. We're good, though. We might get decimated. Hold on 1 second. Imbued with great power, retaliates with burn when hit. Does that mean I get hurt with fire every time I hit him? And cannot hinder his mobility. That's fine. He's ice. We need ice. I don't think we've used an ice weapon yet. We used the ice crossbow. But yeah, so I went on tour. That was fun. I was kind of headlining, but the artist I toured with was headlining, and it was just, we put both of our names next to each other in big bold. And then my brother was a producer, and so he just wore a mask, and because that was a thing back then. He also did some EDM stuff and all that, so he wore a mask and came along with us, and he just handled all the sound stuff for the tour. And that was fun. For shows with like 40 or 50 people, I'm not lying when I say that, like, out of the tour, I can think of at least 2 of the venues where I brought merch. I had wristbands made. It was Christian music, so we'd perform it like I think almost all of them were at churches, and they'd have the youth groups, and then anybody that you reached out to with like online or from flyers would show up too. Free events, we got paid, but like it was a free entry. And then I sold merch. And I actually, when I sold merchandise back when I was touring, back when I had a few, some numbers, I had some fans. We're literally talking at least like 7 years ago when I toured. Eight years ago. 8 years ago, almost to the day, I want to say, because it was before harvest time. I brought merch. I burned a bunch of CDs. I had custom like covers and stuff made for the albums. I had wristbands. I had T-shirts. We traveled around on tour. We'd hit these shows. You'd have, I think the most people we had might have been 50. It was like 40 was a good number. One show we had like 15 people, and literally it was a hometown show, which really hurt. That hurt my pride because like 4 of the people were family, I will say that was like the most fun show I've ever done though. And I haven't done a show in like 7 or 8 years. Because I went off into like production and lo-fi, and I just stopped even trying to tour. But one of the times, I always sold out on merch too. Every show we went to, I dedicated a certain amount of merch to that show because I had to save some for the next shows. I sold out every time. Well, one of the times, somehow I had packed a bunch of, I remember how now. I had packed a bunch of empty album cases and a bunch of burned CDs. I hadn't gotten them together yet because I still had to take like the sticker print and place it on the CD, because like you take the CD out, it had all of its stuff on the CD, then you put it in the case had its back cover, the front cover, and then on the inside some details and info and stuff. I hadn't put it all together yet, so I had some cases in a box identical to my completed box of cases. But this box, they didn't have CDs in them. And I went into this show in Nashville, and after the show, I handed out merch for like, it was like $10 a CD or something. I don't remember. It was cheap, A lot of people there, because you're performing at churches and we were doing free shows. There was always a tip or a bonus at the end that was pretty hefty, but like we did free shows. The pastors or youth pastors, whoever was in charge of the event, would come up to you and they would offer you cash. Typically, just like hey, thanks for coming by. Here's some gas money. Here's some whatever, and then here's something, else. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. It's free. It's really cool. You brought in people, whatever. Okay, there's another cut. I want to apologize for vanishing, but I guess I'll cut it out so I don't have to. Hopefully. Yeah, so back to the story. I sold an entire box. Each box had 25 albums in it, and I usually would bring like a box and a half. This show was smaller, so I brought one box. I sold the whole thing, so 20 to 25. I think it was 25 albums. I didn't open them. I took them out. They were sealed. Because I had them all sealed. The thing is, I was resealing them after I put them together. So I just take them out, and I start selling them. I have my little stand, my table set up, the drape over, some posters or whatever behind you, and I'm selling my merch. I sell 20 to 25. I'm going to go with 25. I sell 25 albums. None of them have the CD inside. Nobody had left yet because it was an event. So, to my knowledge, nobody had left yet. I got no complaints, so I don't think I miss anyone. We take off. We go to eat because they gave us food, too. They were like, hey, let us host you. It's a free event. We'll host you, too. So, we go back to the green room in the back of this church building in Nashville. We're sitting down. We're eating wings. We're chatting. The show went great. We made some money. It was a really fun time. We got to meet some people. I got to meet, we had a couple of rappers and producers come out to the show. And we got to hang out. Really cool experience. it clicks. Something in me just goes, oh, I may have messed up. So I go and I check all my stuff, and the box of the CDs I had put together, we were staying busy. I didn't have them all put together. I'd put together just enough for the show. I grabbed the wrong box. I realized it. I went, oh no. I'm digging through my stuff, and I find the box I'd put together for this event. So I take that box. I run out to the room, and I shout out, and I'm like, hey, if I gave you these CDs, I apologize. I messed up. I have the actual ones here. I will sign them all if you want them signed. I will take photos with you. Whatever you want to do, I will do it to make it up for you. I'm so sorry if you want your money back, even though you're still getting the disc. Like, I feel so bad because anyone that opened it is going to go, oh, was I scammed, People come one by one. I swap it out. Nobody asks for anything back. A lot of the younger guys, some of the youth kids were like, yeah, yo, sign it for me, man. So I signed it and all that, and we got away. It worked out great. The rest of the tour was awesome. It was horrible as far as like exhaustion went. I was working. I just started a job. I was 18 because I started a job at UPS. I'd gotten away from the farm. I'm back on the farm. I'd gotten away from the farm for a little bit and started working at UPS. And I got these like 3 days off, which I had told them when I signed on, like, I'm good all the time. I don't even need weekends off. I just need these specific like 3 or 4 days to finish out this tour, because we took there's a pause, and then I literally joined and didn't show up for work or anything until after the tour. So I get back, and we're driving all night. We hit some places in Arkansas, places in Tennessee. We hit Nashville, and I want to say we drove back for a final show in my hometown. So we drive back, and we knock the show out within like 2 hours. Like we get there, we get everything set up, and we had like 45 minutes or something before the show started. So I've had no time to rest. We've been driving. There was 4 of us in total in this little SUV. We've literally laid out a mattress in the back. You've got boxes of merch and stuff around you, and you're just sleeping on this mattress and taking turns sleeping. It was horrible. It was amazing. It was fun. I'd do it again if I was younger and didn't have kids and responsibilities and a bad back and all that crap now. But it was really fun. But we got done with the last show, and we're sitting in the green room, the very last show. All these people wanted to give us wings and pizza. It was always wings and pizza. And so after the final show in my hometown, we're in the bag eating wings and pizza. We're kind of pissed off because the marketing that was supposed to be done never went through. There was no ad spend for promotion for the show in my hometown. And hometown shows, there's pressure behind that. I mentioned a minute ago, there was like 15 people there, and then a youth group, a church youth group, but like 15 people there. It was upsetting. It was upsetting. I felt like I had something to prove, and we had just hit like these I don't remember how many places in this 2 days that we hit before the gap, but we had just come off of 3 or 4 shows in a row, and it was a lot better turnout, and this was not. And to end the tour with just like it was just so we're sitting in the green room. I'm like falling asleep. I'm chugging Red Bull. We had a bunch of different energy drinks. Red Bull was my choice that night. I remember it. We're eating. We're down in energy drinks. We're laughing. We're talking. Our families come into the green room. So like my parents, my wife. I don't think I was married at the time though. I think I was engaged. I might have been freshly married around then. I don't remember. And we're just all chatting, having a good time. And then it clicks, and I realize I have work at 1 a.m. and it's like late into the evening. So I'm like, I take off like, hey, that was a great tour. I'll talk to you all later. I drive home. It was in my hometown, so it was only like 25 minutes away or something. I drive home to the farm, sleep like a half night, and I go to work. Horrible, horrible experience. First day of work, I haven't slept in days. I'm physically exhausted. I don't know if you've ever been on a stage. You're sweating, you're jumping around. I was in bad shape, anyways. It was awful. What do we need for this? We need energy. There I go on a rant forever, bro, and I'm just not playing the game. But yeah, there's a short story of my tour. I only ever did one tour. I did a few shows, you know, but I only ever did one actual like tour. It was fun. I'm not associated with anyone that I toured with back then for different reasons. For one, my younger brother, he produced a lot of the songs that we did on the tour. He also was the opening act. He would play, because a lot of this stuff was done in churches. You had a lot of youth kids, so he would play music beforehand. They'd dance or whatever, and some EDM stuff and all that. But he actually quit music, and which is crazy because he performed well when it came to like some of his songs and hitting the Christian charts and stuff. It's very wild, but he said, this is not for me. Oh, we get to try out the new weapon. It's like a batarang looking thing. But yeah, my brother quit, and I kept up for a while with it was 3 of us that were artists, the 2 headlines, and then an artist that had a piece of some of these songs in features, and then had his own little section. And then my brother, who he opened and he closed the event, but he also ran sound during the event or the events. And I haven't kept up with any of them. I mean, my brother I do, but not music wise. And the other 2 artists I just haven't. And there's been a lot of drama and stuff there too. Something I've learned in music: nobody normal gets into music. Even if we're talking like video game soundtracks, I've done a couple of those now. If we're talking lo-fi, I did a bunch of that. If we're talking rap and hip-hop, I've produced, and again, I've performed even on stage in the rap and the hip-hop scene. I've worked in the Christian scene, the Christian music scene. There is nobody normal in music. You do not get into music if you are normal, a normal person. You have to be unique. You have to be willing to risk it all. You have to be willing to take on a guaranteed take on of shame and ridicule and public ridicule, in hopes that you're one of, out of 100,000 people, a small handful are actually going to make it to like the B list, and then one of you might make it to A list. And I have friends that are in the top. I have people I know that are in the billion stream club that work jobs, like normal jobs, like music is tough. The music industry's tough, and it's full of wicked people, but it's also full of weirdos. It's also full of creeps. It's also full of people that are power hungry because, you can get addicted to the fame, you can get addicted to the money, you can get addicted to the fact that everything is a kind of a who knows who situation. And some of the biggest projects I've been a part of had nothing to do with like my resume, and everything to do with who I knew and what they knew about me, but who I knew. It's who you know. And some people, they charge for stuff like that. I know of a huge rapper that a buddy of mine was talking to, and he was like, yo, I love your beats, man. And my buddy's like, yeah, dude, let's get something in together. And the rapper's like, yeah, bro, I only charge this amount for you to get on, or for you to get a beat to me. Like, brother, if we're making beats and we're putting the work in, you're going to pay us, whether it's royalties or up front. You're going to pay us for the beats, not the other way around, and there's a lot of that goes on. People get money hungry. They get addicted to the power and fame that they get, because most people don't actually have fame. It's all smoke and mirrors. Even huge artists, a lot of it's just smoke and mirrors, man. They just make it appear like they're huge because editorials pop off. They get a few million monthly listeners, Listen, I had 100,000 monthly listeners, and nobody knew who I was at that time. The biggest actual fan base I ever had was when my monthly listeners were at like 8,000. You know, when I was at like 126,000, somewhere around there was my like peak. If I went live on Instagram, I had like 20 people, you know, maybe on like a weekend if I prepped because I had fan chats and Discord chats and stuff, or Discord servers. If I prepped everybody, maybe I'd hit like 60 to 80 for a brief moment. But I cruised around like 20 live viewers. Like, just because I had 100,000 on Spotify, all that meant was I was placed on an editorial radio. You know, like, that's not fame. But there are people that can give off the image and give off the vibe that they're huge. And I fell for that a lot when I was younger, and I paid thousands for big collaborations and big placements and big, you know, covers and websites and magazines that just didn't really matter. A lot of things. I spent a lot of money on a lot of things that I shouldn't have, but I knew no better. And a lot of people know no better. You see that, you know, when my AQ Worlds event dropped, when I did the AQ Worlds event with Artix Entertainment, people started looking at my music, and I was surprised because everybody was looking at my Spotify and going through that. Who's this guy that worked with AE? And all the comments, I've got probably 100. They were like, "Oh, yo, you worked with Futuristic. You're so cool, bro." And I'm like, immediately cringing, not because of Futuristic, but cringing because I remember when I was younger in the music scene, especially in the Christian music scene, it was really bad for me. If you worked with anybody that I love to listen to, or anyone that I like highly respected, if you worked with them in any way, I wanted to work with you no matter what. It was like, it's who you know, it's all about who knows who. That's what this industry is. Yeah. So if you know this guy, I got to get tight with you. I'll pay my way in. And a lot of people fall for that. In the Christian music scene, that was a big issue. A lot of people were paying their bills off of features. They were getting these nobodies that make absolute garbage music, like myself at the time, maybe even now. But they were getting all these artists to pay them hundreds up to thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, to do songs with them. And the songs were horrible, and the artist will give you a verse. A lot of the time, like 6 months later, you have to beg, because I went through that. They'll give you a verse, or you'll get a producer, and he'll give you like a collab beat or whatever, and they'll lead you on for a while, and then you'll get to work with them, and then they won't promote it, or they'll just give you a post, but no money behind the post, right? You gave them all this. The most I ever paid for anything was like $3,000. I paid for $3,000 for a project to come together. After we talk about video and all that, and most of it's been taken down. Again, good luck trying to find it. I paid like probably $4,000 in total. I didn't even get like a repost or a share, you know? I think I got an Instagram story repost with no context. And it did okay. It didn't do horrible, but it didn't do great. With $4,000, if I put a song out right now in some lo-fi folky hint of country style, and I had $4,000 of ad spend, that song's gonna way outperform the song that released that I put $4,000 into, just to be able to work with the people I worked with, but they did nothing with it. They took it nowhere. And in the Christian music scene, that was a big deal. I know people that were dropping. I was one of them. Thousands to work with certain artists and to work with certain labels or certain producers or get on certain magazines or certain websites. And it was just a trap. People were desperate for money. Nobody wanted to work jobs. I literally know a rapper. I know him personally, who I was kicking it at his crib, and he knocked out 5 features. 5 features. Freestyled all of them, knocked them out in 10 minutes. Literally 10 minutes. I'm sitting on his couch. We're chatting. We've been working on some music stuff. And he's like, "Oh, yo, I just grabbed another feature. It's time to knock them out." And he was taking feature money. He knocked out 5 features. That was his grocery money. A lot of these guys don't want to go work jobs. They want to make it off music. The problem is it's really hard to make it off of music, even if you're signed. Again, I know people in the billion stream club that have jobs. You know? I know people, and I'm talking like billion for one song, but I know a dude right now. I'm not gonna say his name. I know a guy with over $1 billion altogether that is in insane debt, works a job, it still tries to push music, but it's kind of fallen off because it's the music industry is tough, man. It's tough, and people are out to get your money. And if you think any scene, Christian, lo-fi, rap, country, if you think it's different anywhere, you are mistaken. Okay, I'm talking too much. Let's grab a weapon, and then I'll talk some more, and I'll start pausing. Everyone's in it for money because nobody wants to go work a job. Everyone wants to live their dreams out. And I'm one of those. I made enough money one year that I could have quit my job. I almost did. I debated it heavily. Me and my wife, we really took it seriously, and I almost did. I'm glad I didn't. I still farm. It's in my family. It's in my blood, man. You may never get me away from the farm, but I farm. And I have a security that these guys that are huge don't have. And I've gotten to see that happen in real time. They lose their houses, they lose their cars, some of them lose their spouses. Their life falls apart. And a lot of it's because it's an algorithm game now, and it's keeping up that momentum, and it's just horrible, man. It's horrible. And there is no scene, whether again, lo-fi, rap, country, Christian. There is no genre, there is no music scene that does not have an overabundance of greedy people, greedy snakes that will undercut you, that will stab you in the back, that will scam you. And you'd be surprised how many of those in your favorite genre that there are. How many huge country artists, how many, if you listen to Christian music, how many huge Christian, bro, I was 18. I was 18 and I did illegal stuff I can't reference here. I probably already crossed the line for monetization, but Puff with a pretty huge Christian music artist, you know, that's a big deal to me. You're selling yourself and your brand as one thing, and then I meet ya and you're the other. And no hate at all, but it was a good wake-up call to how it is. And literally the people that put on a music persona that they're super humble, it's a persona. The people that put on a music persona that they're kind of tough and BAs and a lot of the time they're not. Like, first off, people create brands and personas and then try to sell it. That's the majority of music. That's why I really appreciate the authentic guys. My buddy Poetics, he's one of those. He's authentic. He ain't selling you nothing that ain't him. PFV, that's the homie. That dude has come through for me in ways that I can't even describe what he has done for me, how much he means to me, bro. He has literally come to my rescue in some horrible music stuff and situations in person. Just, he's an incredible guy, and he's authentic. Everything he raps, everything he sings, authentic, incredible. Arguably one of the greatest music creators and musicians I've ever met, and it would be a hard debate to knock him down from number one on my list. There's a lot of guys. Big Zach, I try to do a lot with Big Zach. We might have some stuff coming between me, Poetics, and Big Zach soon, which is cool. Big Zach, solid. There is some people out there that are genuinely unique to themselves. They are 100% authentic in their music. But the majority of people, and I kind of did it myself years ago with when I first launched Cxldaf, you put on an image, you create a character, and then you play the character like you're acting. And let's take a look, because I keep talking. We need fire. You put on a mask, you create a character, and then you fall in love with it, you know? For a lot of us, it's a way to live out or to live without our like insecurities. I'm a very insecure guy. I have a lot of anxiety, generalized anxiety, like pretty much everyone in everyone in the last few years going through all that we've gone through as a nation, and even neighboring nations. But when I put on the mask of Cxldaf and I went to these music retreats and these songwriting retreats, until my most recent one, and I haven't been back to any of them. Until the most recent one, I didn't have anxiety. I didn't have anything, but I put on a character. I was fake. I dropped my accent. I still do out of habit. I've got a very harsh Southern drawl. I'm a farmer. I work on a farm. But I drop it when I'm in front of a camera now. When I'm in front of music people, I don't mean to, but I talk in a certain way. Because back then, everything was political. And so if you had a Southern accent, people immediately dismissed you. And so I worked against it. And I legitimately set and practice to work against it. And you just start creating these characters and putting on these personas, and then people start to be attracted to it, whether it's for your fame or your algorithmic success, or it's just success. People see that you perform well. You may have a song catch an editorial and blow up, and they just want to be a part of that. And maybe it's that you've worked with an artist they're a fan of. I got a lot of that in the past. A whole lot of that. I played Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, with Snow, Powfu, and Sad Boy Prolific, and it was live streamed. And for the next 2 weeks, probably, I had people DMing me, "Hey, I will pay you to get into a Warzone lobby with Powfu. Hey, I will do anything if you can just get me in a DM session with Sad Boy Prolific. Hey, I will give you a free feature if you get me on a song with Snow." First off, the only guy I was tight with from that group was Snow. That's the homie. But everybody wants something from you, but they don't want you. People don't want you. In the music industry, it's rare to find people that want you. Anyone that says they want you, they're lying. I've been in it for 10 years. I got a group chat of 5 guys, and I'm tight with those 5 guys. And I've went through a lot of people in a lot of groups, but if people say they want you, they don't want you. They want your, when you have a song popping off, suddenly everybody pops up, and you're hot stuff to them, right? And they want a piece of that. And so they're playing buddy buddy, and you're getting free stuff, and you're getting... That's all this industry is. And when you learn to get away from that stuff, it can be upsetting. What do we need here? Fire. We'll just use fire. It can be upsetting, when you start to pull back the curtain. It can be upsetting. The highest monthly listeners I ever had, I had 126. I'm going to go with that. I don't remember the number. I have a picture on my Instagram, I think, of it saved. But 126,000 monthly listeners. My DMs were popping with people. It was cool. But then I started examining, and I was like, what are these DMs? Almost all of them were people that, I'd talk with them. They'd ask me about myself, feel like we connected, and then they'd ask about working together. They'd ask about, can I get them in a session with somebody, in a group chat with somebody, in a Warzone match with somebody? Can I do this and that? Once you pull back the curtain, you realize there's nothing good in this industry. If you're making music to make music and to have fun, that's where I'm at now. My work with AQ Worlds, that was fun. That was fun. I love the fact I can jump on AQ Worlds. I can see my character as an NPC in the game. I can hear my soundtrack in the game. I can appreciate it. But there's no fame to that. There is no draw of a bunch of people. Maybe I get a shout out. Someone recognizes my name in game and goes, "Oh my gosh, you're the guy that's the NPC," and I get a friend request. That's cool. But there is no just huge, because now I'm having the most fun I've ever had, except for a small period in lo-fi, and I'll get into that. But I'm having the most fun I've had in 10 years of music, because I'm doing what I love. And at the same time, I'm getting the least amount of views, and the least amount of shares, and the least amount of DMs and comments, and the least amount of just butt kissing from people. And I love it. I love it because it's real. And now I'll touch on that incredible period in lo-fi. It was short-lived. When I first came out as Cold AF, I was masked. I had a mask on because that was the thing that was popping at the time. You had Corpse coming up. You had Scarlord coming up. All these guys that were wearing masks, and you had Boy with Uke was in the process of becoming huge, and then he did become huge at that time. That was just a popular thing. Everyone wears a mask. You don't see their face. I did that, and I started these fan chats, and I had my songs. They may only get 30,000, 40,000 streams at the time. Like, that was a great performing. That was incredible for me. But my fan chat started filling. I had Instagram group chats called Fan and Family. And I DM'd in these chats. I had 3 of them because they maxed at 30, so I had 90 there. I DM'd them every day. I jumped in there, and they were popping. Like we have Discord servers now, I had Instagram group chats. Then I had a Discord server. I had these people that genuinely loved the music and asked nothing of me, and that was incredible. And I can legitimately call them fans because they would have called themselves fans, and I was masked. Nobody saw my face, and I was putting out vocal content. I was producing some, and I was getting some traction. I was seeing growth. If I put out merchandise, they were buying it. I was shipping out shirts and wristbands and albums. That was really fun because it felt like I was appreciated. Nobody was kissing my butt. Nobody was doing any like, oh, you're incredible. It was relationships. And then I couldn't just chat with everyone, but I tried my best to, and I kind of did, just not in depth because there was so many people. But I grew this huge following, and every time I put something out, within an hour, it was flocked full of people. People would flock to it, and it was incredible. And then it kept growing, and I got to meet Snow, and I got even tighter with Poetics. That's one of my best friends ever. Incredible dude. He has helped me, and he's kind of mentored me in music for many years. And that time, it's hard to beat that time in music because I had the fans. I could sell merch. I could make money. I could put out a song that sounded like garbage. People loved it. That was like a 6-month period. About 6 months. Then I kind of crashed out. I swapped and went to more production based and less vocal content and all that. And that's a conversation for a different time, which is funny to say because I'm kind of airing everything out right now. But I miss that lo-fi scene. But I kind of don't. I've moved on. I look back at it now, and it seemed so huge at the time. But I think it was just an outlet where I could put out. The thing I appreciated most was I could put out something that was a deep part of me. I used to say it, and I still stand behind it, and a lot of artists do too. When I make a song, it's like a therapy session. I get to just dump my emotions into it and process these situations I'm dealing with or these feelings. Put it into a song, and then people can appreciate it, and it was getting appreciated at the time. And that time is actually before I had my editorial rise, where I was doing decent numbers on editorials, and I broke 100K monthly listeners and all that. That was before then, and I look back at that, and that was amazing. But also the friends I had in that scene. Lo-fi was just now popping off. Everyone was just now taking off. And so I got to watch a lot of friends and a lot of friends of friends and people I've met just explode and just go huge. And I don't know how I got started on the music conversation. I think I said with the last video I was going to do a quest line. I did a quest line, and then I had to erase the footage because copyright stuff popped up. I had stuff I had to do. So now I guess I'm going to title the video and everything the same. But this one's pretty much just XP farming. Right now we're at level 7. If I'd stop talking, or at least learn to play while I talk, we'd be at a higher level. We need level 15. And I promise it does not usually take this long to level. I'm just chatty, I'll probably end up ending the video after this battle. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a quest line. I don't know yet. I'm trying to keep my videos. I want to do Fate playthroughs because I don't care if they get views. I just love Fate. It's a good classic. It's nostalgic. I want to do Fate playthroughs and have those videos be about an hour or more. The AQ World stuff, I do not. I want them to be under an hour. Most videos I'm gonna want to be under an hour, because who has an hour of their time to invest into a let's play style? Not a lot of cuts, not a lot of, you know, not a lot of editing, just sitting, chilling, and chatting. You know. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to show on YouTube, but I promise when I start fumbling around with stuff, it's not illicit. I'm just very careful. Like the pillows for lips. I don't know how that goes. Okay. We're knocking out a Bracken. I'm assuming it's Bracken. What's the joke? There's got to be a joke for this, right? Myrmizons used to be Sore. No, okay. Are Brackens a thing? Because I know Kraken. Like, are Brackens... Is this supposed to be a joke I'm not getting? Because almost every enemy in the game is a meme or a pun. So I don't know what Bracken's supposed to... Oh, you cut off a tentacle for later. Are you going to make... So I got the tentacle. I don't know where you take it. Some of these enemies you can click on after you defeat them, and you get an item. Sometimes it's like a busted weapon. They'll die and drop a weapon. You can pick up the weapon and use it, and it's cracked. When we hit level 10, we can go to the rip in the sky up in the top right corner. Just a ripple in the sky. And when you complete the quest line, if you do it correctly, you get a plunger and its special ability. I don't know if it still is, because the game has changed a lot in 24 years, 23 years. But the plunger is absolutely cracked with its special ability. And I would like to get it, but we're level 7. I guess I'm going to check. Okay, the video's pushing an hour, but I also lost like an entire large piece of footage. So we'll see how long it ends up actually being. Yeah, if you made it this far, thank you. I apologize. This was more of a rant video. I might title it as that too. I really wanted to focus on grinding and trying to. I really want to work towards a class. We just got to level the character for that. But I thank you. Thank you if you made it this far. Thank you for listening to me ramble about stuff and talk dirt on artists and singers. And I didn't even crack the surface, man. I gave you the stuff I don't have to think about too much, you know? The what am I allowed to say, what am I not? What's going to come back to bite me? Yeah, so if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please subscribe. I need subscribers. I'm really trying to do this YouTube channel without sharing a whole bunch to like my Instagram. I like to keep that on music and stuff. I reference the YouTube channel a lot, but like I'm not really promoting it. There's no ad spend. The YouTube's just for fun. It's a fun reason to get to play games and I guess to rant about the music industry. Maybe next video, or I might save it and do it on the next Fate video. We'll see. But I might go into like, I got to go to Capitol Records. I got to go into a studio session there. I got to meet some artists. I've met a lot of artists, like charting artists and stuff, and I've got stories with all of them. So maybe I'll get into that in the next video. We'll see. Thank you for swinging by. Thank you for checking out the content. I appreciate you. You're incredible. I really appreciate you. Thank you for swinging by. Check out the next video when it releases. Check out the back catalog of releases. I don't know what more to say. I'm not good with ending these videos because I just want to keep talking and keep just chatting my butt off. So thank you for swinging by. We'll see you later.